Looks like we now have a chicken, thanks to Tico.
Yes.
I tried to find you a chicken last time. But anyway, welcome to the OMG Hour, episode number 332. And we are your organic, magniloquent gremlins. And I, of course, am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion-Tane.
And I am Tico, Mr. Second Place. I can talk quieter than you.
Otherwise known as a chicken.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
After last show, Tico, I tried to put a chicken into our video for you. But the hardest part was, one, finding a good chicken video that I could throw in, because you need a special kind of video to do that. Second, I couldn't find a good chicken sound. The best chicken sound was the one you did by voice, similar to what you just did.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make myself available to anybody and everybody who needs chicken noises for the low rate of $99 per chicken sound.
I need a chicken sound.
Yes, $99 per chicken sound.
Okay, good.
You got to pay for the last one first.
Great. The one I didn't ask for.
Right.
Anyway,
exactly.
We are back. Of course, we were away last week. I spent a wonderful, amazing week up in Tobermory, Ontario, which is my family's favorite place to vacation, with my lovely wife. 25th anniversary. We spent a week away. Tobermory is just beautiful. Like, we've been going to Tobermory. We started going back in 2003 when my youngest was 3 years old. And she is 19 now. And of those 16 years, we've gone about 12 times. Like 12 years we've gone.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good amount.
There's a couple years, we went to Pele Island one year, we went to Ottawa one year, and there's a couple years like between jobs sort of thing where we just didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's the way things are. But, 12 out of 16 years, we have all gone to Tobermory for vacation. And this year we went without the kids.
So an actual nice vacation for one.
As you can see, the house is still standing, so that's amazing.
Hopefully, nothing structural that you'll find out about later.
Right. Now, I got to tell you, though, while we were up there, before we went up, we kept checking the weather so we'd know what's going on. And typically, end of June up here in southern Ontario isn't super hot. Right. So we went up and we're expecting, and Tobermory is typically cooler than where we live.
Yes, it's got the shade of the trees.
The 3 hours south. Well, it's surrounded by water too, right?
And then the shade of the water. I don't know how.
The shade of the water. Excellent.
Yeah,
I don't think you know how water works.
I don't.
So we were expecting like 17, 18 degrees. I'll let you Americans figure that what it is in your vocabulary. Just double it and add 30. Which is cool. Like it's warm, but it's not hot and it's not cold. So it's like perfect jean weather, jeans and a t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Great. We don't need to take bathing suits. It's going to be too cold for swimming. It's too early in the year. I didn't take my shorts because I figured it was going to be really comfortable. No. It was like 10 degrees hotter the entire week, Tico. It was 25, 26, or 27 degrees all week, blazing hot, and I had no shorts and no bathing suit.
Just go buy them.
And there is no Walmart in Tobermory.
How is there not a Walmart there? They're everywhere.
Tobermory is quite literally a tourist vacation town. It is in the middle, basically. You could call it the middle of nowhere. If you want to go major shopping, you're driving an hour south to Owen Sound.
All right, there's got to be some little store where you can go buy a bathing suit, though, or shorts.
Well, no, actually, I could not find a single pair of shorts in all of Tobermory. I looked. But last year I bought a bathing suit.
Yeah.
It was $60 for a bathing suit in Tobermory.
But you're doing it wrong.
I wasn't going to buy another one.
No, here's what you're doing wrong. You have a phone.
I did have a phone, yes. I still do.
Hop onto Amazon. No, order yourself some shorts to the campsite.
Directly to the campsite.
Right to the... I can't imagine why they wouldn't deliver it. Check out with Amazon Prime. And like you'll have it
Right?
24 hours later, you will have shorts.
Some Amazon car comes. Sean Evans, I have a package for Sean Evans.
And I'll tell you something, the UPS guy would also be wearing shorts.
I'll just ask for his shorts.
That's a little uncomfortable for those guys. They don't like that.
Well, have you tried?
No, but I mean, can imagine that.
Look what you're wearing today. You're showing some skin today.
Listen, it is so. We just said bloody hot was the word for it.
Oh yeah, it's bloody hot.
Yeah, it is. I believe 96 degrees without the humidity outside right now.
Yeah, which translates 33 degrees for us. Yes.
Yes. So I was outside. I mowed the lawn. I took a dip in the pool. And I'm like, it is just too hot to to actually dress up for the show. So I figured, why not show a little skin today?
Great. I'm sure our plethora of viewers appreciate that.
Our plethora of viewers will turn to listeners soon, I'm sure.
And on that note, let's find out who's listening to us. Let's bring up the chat. So give me a quick second while we do that.
All right.
All right. Hello, chat people, whoever you are. Yes, that, come on, pop out chat. There we go. It's not popping out. It doesn't like me, or whatever. Anyway, I don't see anyone. There's no one there.
No one there. Well, let's tell no one there about the games we played.
Games? People come here to listen to games?
No, they come here to see me in my tank top, but they'll get some game talk as well.
Oh, man. All right, fine. So, we've been playing a game called The Sinking City. This came out, I believe, last week while I was on vacation. And I know JJ Mahoney. He is playing this game because
he's enjoying this as well. He's really having fun with it.
I'd actually really like to know, JJ, what your thoughts are on The Sinking City. This is a Cthulhu-based mythology game. You are a private investigator who is brought to the island off the coast of Boston, which is the fictional island in the Call of Cthulhu mythos.
Boston's a real place.
But the island is not.
Yeah, I know, but Boston is, just in case anybody misunderstood that you thinking that Boston wasn't a real place. It exists.
It is the mythological island off the coast of Boston.
I don't think mythological. I think maybe fictional.
Fictional? It's no. Call of Cthulhu is all mythology now. It's so old. No. But you are a private investigator who has been haunted by visions, and you're trying to find the source of these visions, and of course you get embroiled in this big mystery on the island itself, where many people are going crazy, and also having visions and just going nuts. So what I like about this game is you are literally a private investigator. So you as a player are also, you have to piece together clues in this mystery and figure out, what do I do next? Like, you're not given the answers. You are literally hand-holding. No, you are literally given a clue that you're reading, and you're like, oh, it mentions a location. Maybe I should go there and check something out. Or, right now I'm trying to find this captain of a boat, and it turns out he was hurt. And you're like, well, maybe he went to the hospital. So now you got to go to the hospital, and you're talking to people. You're investigating things. So I like that aspect. It's well done in that regard, where you actually do feel like a PI, piecing together clues, and you're sort of a paranormal PI. Like you have these third sense or sixth sense abilities, right? So you can kind of see into other worlds, and it's. I'm not sure how to explain it other than what you're seeing on screen right now, which guides him into another possible clue. Ultimately, though, I'm still processing my feelings about this game, because it doesn't feel like a next-gen game graphically. Yeah. It doesn't look great. It reminds me a lot of Murdered Soul Suspect in the visuals, which is an Xbox 360 game. And you were saying earlier that this is the same guy.
I believe it's some of the same team who had worked on that. I find that the story is less compelling thus far in my playthrough. At least the story is less compelling than I really.
I agree.
I really got into Murdered Soul Suspect. This I'm finding it's not pulling me back in as much.
No, and that exactly. I agree. It's not a game I come home thinking, man, I got to play more. When I played Murdered Soul Suspect, I played that every day until I finished it.
Yeah.
I found it very satisfying, very compelling. Now, I do like the mechanics in this game, piecing together these clues, which, as you described earlier, is sort of like the way Batman can see what happened in a scene and put it together.
Yeah.
Combat is terrible.
Yeah, it's very, very clunky combat. It's not at least in my playthrough so far, it's not been a huge portion of the game, but the portion of the game that it is, it feels like an afterthought to have thrown some of it in. It feels very clunky. A lot of times you get these games and you're like, well, where's the next bit of combat I can get into? You sort of look forward to that with these sort of games. This one here is like, I really just hope that I don't get a combat section
because
coming up.
For two reasons. One, as you mentioned, it's very clunky. Second, the ammo in this game is extremely limited. In fact, ammo is the currency on the island. So you are rewarded with bullets, but you also pay with bullets. And you can craft bullets by finding items. But you're limited. Like, you may only have 10 bullets to your name. And if you're like shooting wildly, trying to shoot things that are moving...
That's the only way I shoot.
You are a wild shooter, that's for sure.
I am. That is it. Run in.
Then you're wasting like what is valuable, so. But yeah, I've only come across a couple of combat scenarios which ended fairly quickly, so it's not like you're being surrounded by things. But I guess at the same time, it's like, well, why is there combat? Like, what does it add to this game? Because ultimately, what this game is a private investigation game.
You're unfolding the story.
Yeah, and that piece of it is well done. How you have to gather those clues. And then the clues go into what they call the Mind Palace, where you're literally taking one clue and finding another clue that relates to it. And if you're correct, it gives you like another piece of evidence that you can then follow to your next location. And speaking of locations, it is a huge map. My biggest issue with this map is because of the city itself is like they call the sunken city. Half of the map is basically underwater, so you're using boats to get down the streets instead of just walking. But the streets are so like, it's not a grid, they're like all over the place. I'm finding in order to get from one place to another, Tico, I am constantly having to check the map to see where am I? Am I going in the right direction? Where am I going?
Yeah, it's just like driving when we were driving in Boston.
It is like driving in Boston. But I don't like games where I have to bring up the map every 30 seconds to see if I'm still on the right track.
Yeah. Like, I walked past the street. And then you have to turn around
I should have turned back there, right? Or this street's a dead end. Why is this a dead end? Now where do I need to go? Oh, I need to get in the boat now, and it's slow going. So it feels like a bit of a, I don't know how to describe it. Like, just, it seems really long going trying to get from one location to another,
It seems grindy.
Grindy, yes, thank you.
For the sake of, like, if just to get from one set piece to another set piece, and there's nothing that's going to happen, nothing that can happen in between.
Yeah. It's also very dark and dreary, the entire game.
Yeah.
It's very dark and dreary. So it's not pretty to look at. Everything is destroyed. Everything's covered in water. There's nothing pretty about this game whatsoever.
It is a very everything does look wet.
And the voice acting is awful.
Better than Call of Cthulhu, worse than Murdered Soul Suspect. It falls in between there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do enjoy this game better than Call of Cthulhu, but I'm still not convinced it's a game I will ever finish. Ultimately, I don't know if I would pay full price for this game. Now, you and I both got this as a review code to review, but I don't know if I would give this a full price review. Like, I would wait for it to come down in price, to be honest with you.
So for me, a standard $70 title, this is right around a $40 value
budget,
in my opinion.
Yeah, budget title.
It's not like, I'm not saying that it needs to be $10 before I would consider, but like right around $40, I think would be about right on this guy here. It's not a bad game. It is interesting, and I do like the Lovecraftian mythos.
I love Lovecraftian mythos. I'm not convinced this is a compelling game to keep me wanting to come back for more.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna keep playing and see where I get to. I know I really do want to hear JJ's thoughts on this, because I know he gets really deeply into these games. I really want to know how he's tackling this as well.
yeah, for sure, because he loves these games as well.
Yeah.
So another game I've been playing, and I played a lot of it while I was away on vacation because I took my Switch with me. So for Father's Day, which is just a couple of weeks ago, my daughter Aria bought me the remaster of Final Fantasy X/X2. It's the double feature remaster for the Switch. And I've been playing Final Fantasy X, which was PS2. I thought it was GameCube, but no, it's PS2, right? That it came out on?
PS2 originally.
Yeah.
X and X2 both came out on the PS2 originally, and
I think I still have them down there because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I still have a lot of Final Fantasy games in my collection. But I played Final Fantasy X twice. Like, I finished it and then played it again. I wasn't a huge fan of X2. I never finished it. I'm looking forward to getting back into it once I finish through 10. Here's the weird thing about playing Final Fantasy X right now, Tico. I don't remember a single thing that's going on in the story. I played the game twice, but this was 20 years ago, right? This game came out 20 years ago.
yeah.
And I'm playing through it, and like, I remember every character. Like, there's not a single character that I don't remember, but I do not remember this story at all.
I remember bits and pieces of it. I remember being terrible at Blitzball.
Yeah, see, I remember the Blitzball stuff. I remember that theme. Like, I remember the overall themes of the game with Sin and Blitzball and Lulu and Yuna and Waka and Riku and Titus. I remember all the characters. I remember the themes surrounding some of the pieces. But I don't recognize anything I'm doing in the game, which is weird since I played it twice.
Well, that's good that your old age is finally causing you to be able to play old games again.
And for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? Final Fantasy X playing looks great. I love the remaster of the cutscenes are beautiful.
It does look really good. And it's great value, too, because it is a 10-2.
It's both games for the price of one. And actually, we got it on sale. It was $48.
Yeah.
So basically it was $50 for 2 remaster games, and the remaster is really well done. Now, all the main characters are completely remastered, redone the whole model, right? They look great.
Yeah.
Some of the secondary characters and some of the background characters feel like they're still the old model, like almost flat faces with just like a picture, whereas your main characters are fully formed 3D characters.
Yeah, but that's who you're paying attention to. So.
No, I agree. It's just funny sometimes when you see a secondary character and you're in a conversation and there's nothing fully 3-dimensional about the secondary character, and then you've got this fully fleshed out Yuna. It's just so weird. But the cutscenes are gorgeous. It's like watching a 3D animated film. It's just beautiful.
I have this on the Xbox, the remaster on the Xbox, and I kind of do want it on the Switch to be able to take with me and
it's great.
Play on the go.
It plays so well on the Switch, and my Switch, my Switch thing won't output to my TV anymore for some reason. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my Cradle is dead. It still charges, but it won't output to the TV. It worked one night, and I went to play again the next day, and nothing. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So you're coming up tomorrow. Maybe you can bring yours with you.
Yeah, I can do that.
And I can swap it out and see if it makes a difference. But anyway.
Maybe now I'm not going to do that, because then I don't know which one I'll get back. Try to pull a fast one.
I might. You'll have to watch me. All right. That is my gaming. You also played something.
Yeah, so I was. They were kind enough to give me a code for Crash Team Racing.
Yes.
Which is another
remaster.
Another remaster. this is obviously, Crash Bandicoot, the racing game. It looks fantastic. I will say this: there's two modes that you get with the game. The original mode, which I have not played yet, because why would you play the original mode when you have the nitrous mode?
Right.
So, it's Mario Kart with Crash characters. It's fun. There's an adventure mode, so it's sort of like a mini story mode that you go through. It's basically you still do the same thing. You just have to win races, and then you unlock more races and some cutscenes and stuff like that. But the cutscenes are fun. It's a fun Mario Kart-esque racing game.
Well, that's just it. I mean, it's literally Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Mario did really well with this racing thing that he did.
Right. So Sony.
What other properties can we put in carts?
Well, Crash Team wasn't Crash originally a Sony thing?
Crash was a Sony thing, so this was a PlayStation.
It was a PlayStation game, right?
Yeah, PlayStation 1 game.
Yes.
But there was
Crash Bandicoot. I mean, Crash Bandicoot was great.
Yeah.
But then they felt, oh, well, we've got a whole bunch of characters. Let's do our own Mario Party or Mario Kart because it's so popular.
And they've done. There's a Sonic team racing.
There is,
well.
yes, yeah.
There's a Sonic racing. There's Crash racing. Pretty much anybody who can fit their butt into a go-kart will have some form,
right,
of racing game at some point. It looks fun. The levels are sort of like the tracks are sort of set to the old Crash sort of the Crash game levels.
Yeah.
So you've got some fun there. You can unlock all sorts of different racers and customization for your karts.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying this game because even when it comes to things like Mario Kart, I am not a fan of kart racing games.
I like the kart racing games, but I like it when when I feel there's progression to the game. Like just the one like there's games where like, oh yeah, it's just a kart racing game, so you can go to this kart and then this one and then this one and then this one. It feels like you're just playing multiplayer. I like these ones here where it feels like this is the adventure mode and you're playing through a single player adventure mode. There is multiplayer and Grand Prix and a whole bunch of other fun stuff, but I really like it when it lets me just play against. There's no difficulty settings or anything like that, so it lets you just play against the AI and just have some fun with it, and it feels like I'm progressing through chapters because like each one of these tracks is a level.
Yeah.
And I like that feeling to it. They've done a good job with that. Mario Kart, we've never really felt that they do that. It's just like here's your stuff.
Pick a course. Go
find some friends, and play some Mario Kart. Now I don't want to play against other people. I'm terrible against other people.
You'd lose. You'd lose.
Like, I would absolutely lose. Like I could like hand a controller to Leah, first time ever, and I guarantee you she would beat me. Yeah. I'm bad at. I'm good against the AI because they're predictable, and you can sort of figure out all of their fun stuff. But real people, for some reason, beat me at games.
Yeah. Well, that's why I don't play multiplayer games or multiplayer versus games. Because I don't have a chance, right?
Oh yeah, like all these battle royale things. Like I'm sure some people absolutely love these things and have a lot of fun with them. It's not fun for me to die 4 seconds into a game and then watch somebody else run around for the next 30 seconds while I wait for the game to load back up. That's why I don't play stuff like PUBG, is because I'm so bad at it.
Right, exactly. I'd be dead as soon as I spawned.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, just get better." I'm like, "Yeah, because I have a magic wand."
Funny story. That actually happened to me once playing a Call of Duty multiplayer with a friend. Yeah. I thought, you know what? I'll go in. Let me go in and try. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I spawned, and I got sniped in the head the moment I spawned, 5 times in a row. No joke.
Not fun.
And then I spawned again, same place, and boom, bullet to the head. And then I wait 30 seconds. Then I spawn, boom, bullet to the head. And I'm thinking to myself, what's the point? Why am I even here?
And I've done games like PUBG and Fortnite, the 100 people drop in and you gotta be the last
Battle
one. Battle Royale to be get a chicken dinner.
You were second place.
I know. Well, you picked the one where I finished second. You didn't pick the video I sent you where I finished first.
Because you're second. You're Mr. Second Place. Come on.
So let me just finish. So the Battle Royale, and I've done that. Usually I die right away. But I've had that occasionally where I've gone in and I'm just wandering all over the map and I can't find anybody. And then I finally find some, like people are dying and whatever, and it's like you finally find somebody. It's like, oh, and then you unload an entire clip into them.
Right.
Somehow that does nothing, and then they walk up and hit you with the frying pan, and you're dead.
And you're dead.
And I'm like, well, that wasn't fun at all.
So. I hear you. No, I hear you. It just I've done the same thing. It makes no sense to me. But anyway, that is pretty much our gaming talk for today. There was nothing in the news this week worthwhile talking about. Like nothing.
It is summer. They're all hot too. They're like, yeah, I'm not.
Right, yeah, I'm not playing. We got nothing to talk about.
Nothing.
But what we do have is a new game that Tico, you are going to introduce us to.
Yes.
And we are calling. So this is a game based on another game, but we're calling our version Lone Wolf.
Yeah, so this is the Game of Wolf. This is by GMG Games. This is in Canada. It is a Mastermind exclusive. I think you can get it on. Yeah, that looks exactly like you, by the way, with the graybeard wolf there. Look at that. That is 100% you. I believe you can get this on at Amazon in the States. I saw this played on YouTube, and I'm like, well, that looks really fun.
Oh, you saw it on YouTube? Awesome.
I saw it originally on YouTube, and it was so. It's a 4 to 12 player game.
Nice.
We are doing our own variation.
Yes,
of this game. It's a 2-player game. So the concept is you have these lovely little cards here. I'm just going to pick this one here just to explain it. So this is musical instruments, and this is a picture one, which was probably a bad one too. But it shows 5 things, and then we each have to write down what we think each of these things are. Now that we'll do the ones without pictures, make it a lot easier.
Right.
And then there's a tiebreaker. And so the idea is normally you would be in a group of people, and you can either decide to go for multiple points by going as the lone wolf, or you go with a partner and you get regular points for it, but only the people who win the match get points.
The nice thing about it is the person whose turn it is can choose who they want on their team based on the topic.
And you cannot refuse. So, for example, if we are playing in a 4-player game, and I pulled the card, and I'm the wolf here, and it's like Star Trek characters. I'd be like, well, Sean, you're on my team.
Right.
100% you're on my team.
Well, there's no reason I wouldn't do it, right? Because we would get points.
You would get points. Yeah. Well, you'd also, if you are on the opposite team. So, like, if the person goes lone wolf and you're not on that person's team, and you beat them. You also still get points.
Gotcha.
You want to be a part of the winning team. So the variation we're going to do is we're going to do a 2-player version of this. We are going to draw a card. The answers are on the back, so I won't see them. I will read out the
question or the
questions,
whatever it's called,
and then we will. Shall we write them down individually?
Or I guess, or we just discuss it on the show. Do you want?
Because it's. Let's go with let's write them down to see who.
So you want me to write down my answers and we'll see who gets it.
Yes.
All right.
There's points.
All right.
So we'll see how this goes.
This is our first time doing this. This is
our first time playing this too. Like
yep. So we're calling our version Lone Wolf because we're each going. We're both going Lone Wolf. Yep.
All right. So I'm going to pick a card out of random in here. So, The Tonight Show.
Oh my gosh.
The Tonight Show.
Do you know anything about The Tonight Show?
I know it's on at night.
Yes.
All right. So, the question is...
How many questions are there?
There's 5.
5.
So there's one question, and there's 5 things that you have to give the answer for.
Okay.
So, name the host of The Tonight Show based on the years they hosted.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, number 1 is 2014 to present.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to write my answer down in horrible penmanship. Okay. 1992 to 2009 and 2010 to 2014.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not sure if I got this right or not.
1962 to 1992.
Okay.
All right. 2009 to 2010.
Okay. I think I know who that is.
And 1957 to 1962.
That I have no clue. Honestly, I do not know. Not a clue.
Well, see, that's it, because I may also have no clue to that one.
Okay, I think I've got the first 4.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
All right, and then there's a tiebreaker question. Should we both, for example, have gotten each 4? There's a tiebreaker, and the closest to the tiebreaker answer, will be awarded that extra point. So the tiebreaker: in what year was the first broadcast of the Tonight Show?
Well, isn't the answer? What was the question for number 5?
1957 to 1962.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, first one is what year?
The 2014 to present.
All right. So you've got the answers now. What was your answer for number 1?
I wrote down Jimmy Kimmel.
I wrote down Stephen Colbert.
Okay, we were both wrong, and I knew it's Jimmy Fallon, and
Wait.
I wrote down Kimmel for some reason.
Jimmy Fallon is the Tonight Show?
He's the host of the Tonight Show.
I thought it was Stephen Colbert.
No, he's the host of the Colbert Show.
No.
Well, I don't know. I don't watch this show. I can't stay up that late.
All right. Hang on a second. What year was this game made?
Well, I don't know. Let's look.
Oh, he's the Late Show, not the Tonight Show.
Well, come on, Sean.
Okay. So I got number 1 wrong.
All right. Number 2 was 1992 to 2009, and then 2010 to 2014.
I said David Letterman.
Oh, Jay Leno.
Oh, I forgot about Jay.
And I got that correct.
I got correct. Gosh, I totally forgot about Jay Leno.
All right. 1962 to 1992, Sean.
Johnny Carson?
Johnny Carson is correct, and I also got that. 2009 to 2010.
Conan O'Brien?
Conan O'Brien is correct. I actually put down David Letterman.
So I got 2. We both got 2 so far?
We both got 2 so far. All right, and 1957 to 1962.
I have no clue. I don't know back then.
I wrote down Sean Evans.
It was me!
Was it you?
It was me!
No, it was not. It was Jack Parr.
I don't even know who that is.
He was the host of The Tonight Show from
1957. Him, that guy.
So we each got 2, so the tiebreaker is going to come into play. So in what year was the first broadcast of The Tonight Show?
1957?
I wrote down 1956, and the answer was 1954.
Okay, so who was the host back then?
No, it's not on the card.
So we both got 2 points.
And I got the tiebreaker because I got closest.
Oh, that's how it works?
Yeah, whoever gets closest.
This is Price is Right now, is it?
It's Price is Right, yes.
The closest without going over?
No, you can go over. It's just the closest.
All right, well done. So you win the first game of Lone Wolf.
Yes. Now we can try another one if you'd like, and I can find a category that fits us a bit better.
All right, let's do it real quick. If you can find another category.
All right. This one here, cereals. What do you think about cereals?
I like cereal.
Cereal?
I hope it's cereal of us growing up. All right, so there's 5. Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
All right.
So the question is: name the cereals based on their slogan below.
Ooh, I might like this. Let's see how good we are.
Number 1, Snap, Crackle, Pop.
I wonder what that is.
Well, I mean, they might give you the easy ones first here.
Right.
Number 2, they're great.
Okay. I got that one too.
I think I got that one.
And you know what's great about this is our listeners can follow along.
They can follow along, exactly. Number 3, kid tested, mother approved.
I
know that one.
Okay, I think I know that one.
I can't remember the name of the damn cereal.
Kid tested, mother approved.
I'm just going to write something. It's wrong, but I'm writing it anyways. They're magically delicious.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, that one I know as well. Number 5, So Happy Together.
What?
So
For
happy.
A cereal?
Together.
So happy together.
I don't think that's the cereal slogan.
Oh my gosh, is it? Maybe it's this one.
I'm guessing it's something. I'm hoping that I might get this one right.
I'm not sure with number 3. Kid tested, mother approved. Something came to mind instantly, but I don't think it's right.
Something came to mind, but I can't form a word. So, and then we'll go with the tiebreaker really quick.
Right.
How many grams of sugar are in a 550 gram box of Kellogg's Fruit Loops?
Are you serious? How many grams of sugar are in the entire box?
Are in the entire box of a 550 gram box of Fruit Loops.
That's ridiculous question.
Well, I can tell you it's going to be lower than 550.
Why? Oh, because it's grams. 50, because
it's
otherwise it would be a box of sugar.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be lower because you can't have more than,
Okay, I'm gonna write a number.
That's all I did too, is I put down a number.
I put a number down.
All right.
Okay.
So question 1.
Yes.
Snap, Crackle, Pop.
Rice Krispies.
Yep. They're great.
Cornflakes.
No. Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes. Oh my gosh, you're right. I should have known that.
All right. Number 3, Kid Tested, Mother Approved.
I put Life cereal.
That's what I wrote down too, and it's the one that I couldn't bring in my Kix.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Kix, and I couldn't. I was
and
kids.
I had something similar. I had Chex in my mind as well, but that's not, I've totally forgotten about Kix. It's not even around anymore, I don't think.
I think it's in the States now.
Oh,
maybe. Like everybody at the States who's watched, it's like it's Kix, obviously. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Right.
All right, they're Magically Delicious.
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms, and So Happy Together.
I put Raisin Bran.
I also put Raisin Bran, and we both got it wrong.
Oh, what is it?
Golden Grams.
Ah, okay. I kind of remember that slogan.
Because they had the
honey, yeah,
and the thing spooling together on the commercial.
Yes, yeah. All right. So, did we both just get 2, or did you get 3?
I got 3
because you got Frosted Flakes.
I got Frosted Flakes.
I wrote corn instead of frosted.
Yes.
All right.
I'll give you a half point for that, so you still lose by half a point.
I do. Right. Thanks. But let's go with the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. All right.
Yeah. I wrote 100 grams.
I wrote down 200 grams.
And what is it?
It is 252 grams.
Oh my gosh.
That's sugar.
Half the cereal is sugar.
Well, slightly less than half of the sugar is sugar. But, yeah.
It's a 500 gram and it was 250 something?
550 grams and
552.
Okay. So slightly less than
that
half.
Is a lot of sugar in cereal.
So that was, so that was Lone Wolf. It's a fun little game. It comes with these little cards here that you would normally answer.
You would write your answers in. That's cool. And it comes with pens. Oh, dry erase. Nice. Perfect.
Yeah. So it's got these little dry erase, and so there's 5 of these.
Awesome.
And then you've got two sets of cards as well. So
very nice. Awesome. I like it. I enjoyed that.
I liked it too. I enjoy any game that I win.
Of course you do. Well, let's move on to television. We'll stop talking about you winning.
All right, fine. We can just move right along.
All right, I want to
end movies.
So let's start really, really quick with some television. While Dorothy and I were away, I took my iPad and because Netflix now allows you to download stuff.
Yes, it does.
So we downloaded 2 shows because late at night when it gets dark and we're in the tent, we watch a show.
Yeah.
We downloaded The Order, which is a supernatural. Witches and werewolves kind of story. Wow, I really enjoyed that show. Really enjoyed it. It's a college era, but I mean the writing isn't it's not terrible, but it's also not good. It's just really cheesy sometimes, awkward.
It feels like Twilight-esque level of
kind of
it's not bad. I'm trying to think.
It's cheesy.
It's like a dumber version of Buffy.
It's cheesy is what it is.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I hope there's a season 2, although the way they ended it was you could go either way.
Yeah. I'm about 4 or 5 episodes into that. I haven't felt compelled to sort of binge it by any means. But,
see, and we did. We were watching 2 episodes a night. We were so into it.
Well, you also only had that and one other show to watch. So
true, but that and we also downloaded the Chef Show, which is Jon Favreau.
Yeah, it's happy.
Happy Hogan from the MCU. So he did a movie called Chef, where he had a food truck.
Yes.
And in order to prepare for that movie, he actually got trained for real how to cook the food they were making in the movie so it looked authentic, because he said one of the worst things he's found is that when they do cooking movies, a lot of chefs say how unrealistic things are because they're not doing things right. So he knew this chef who actually trained him. He brought him on and said, "Will you train me for this movie?" And so they become really good friends. And now this show essentially is the two of them going around to different restaurants and learning how those restaurants make their things.
Their signature dishes.
Dishes. And it's short 30-minute shows, but within the 30-minute, there's like 3 10-minute segments. And it's really fascinating. In fact, basically they start off, the first 2 episodes itself have people from Avengers in it. So it gets that interest in, right? Like the first episode has Gwyneth Paltrow in it, who turns out didn't even know she was in the first Spider-Man movie, because they were filming her scenes, I guess, around the same time they did Avengers.
Oh,
and
she's
she
didn't know what movie she was filming for.
She didn't. It's like, I'm not in Spider-Man. I was in Avengers. And he says, no, remember the scene when such and such? He says, and she looks at him. She says, that was Spider-Man. So she didn't even know. But and then the second one had Tom Holland, the Russo brothers, and Robert Downey Jr. At a dinner table together. And I would think that was around the time just before they started filming, or probably around the time they had finished filming Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because they were talking with Tom Holland about how he got cast as Spider-Man. So it was around that time, you know.
Yeah.
But fascinating show. I enjoy it, but it's not one I'm like, man, I gotta watch more right away.
It's one of those, like, I liked having sort of filler type shows.
It's a filler
like,
show.
When I don't feel like paying attention to anything, I want to watch them. Shannon and I have actually started watching something on Netflix too. When you mentioned Netflix, it sort of reminded me of that. It's a new game show on Netflix called Awake.
A game show?
Yeah, it's a game show. They've been doing a lot of game shows on Netflix lately, and this is a new one called Awake. This is our sort of our filler. Like when Shannon doesn't have enough time to really sit down and watch a new show, but we haven't started anything new yet. But she wants to watch and spend some time. The concept of Awake is they take people and they make them count quarters for 24 hours.
What?
Before the show starts. So they put them They put them in this tons of quarters. So the whole thing is they count quarters for 24 hours, 7 people, for 24 hours, and then at the end of the 24-hour period, they come out onto the game show, and they have to tell they secretly say how much they counted, and they are playing for that amount of money that they've counted within 24 hours. Now, immediately, the person who was the least accurate gets eliminated, and the person who counted the least amount of money gets eliminated. So now you're down to 5 contestants left. And we're talking like $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 in quarters that these people have counted in a 24-hour period, and they have still not gone to bed from this time. And then they compete in some skill testing things to try to keep going on to see if they can win this money.
Seems so weird.
It is so weird. And
it sounds like it's a Japanese-based
It
game.
Probably is.
That's the kind of game show the Japanese do.
Yeah, it seems so weird, but it is so intriguing. Like, these people are counting like $25,000 in quarters in 24 hours with no sleep, and then coming on and competing in tasks that they have to do while have been being awake for like over 24 hours.
Is this actually interesting to watch, though?
It is a little bit entertaining. It is because you have people who are so sleep deprived. They are. They're giving them like basic tasks. Like one of the ones that we watched the other day, they had to use tongs to remove cheese from mouse traps and then place it on the table in front of it. But, like after 24 hours, your hand's shaking and stuff like that. So just watching people try to do this.
I know exactly what it's like to be up 24 hours. I mean, I do it for Extra Life every year, right?
Yeah.
It's 24 hours straight, 25 hours if they do it when the time changes. And I know exactly how I feel at that 25-hour mark. I know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do anything but sleep.
So they're doing skill testing events separately, which is the interesting thing, because they do them separately, and then they come back and they say, okay, we've got the results. This person did the best at this random task. They're on to the next round. The other 4 of you,
That's
one of you is going home,
bizarre.
and they say, and they give people the option. You don't know how anybody else has done, and they give you the option of taking a buyout. So if you think you did the worst, you can take the buyout, but you could also maybe hope that somebody else thinks they did worse than you. And so it's all this decision making of people who have not had any sleep.
Okay.
It's kind of fun.
We started a new show this week called The Rook.
I did watch that as well.
I have never heard of it until it appeared on the service I use for television. And I looked it up. It sounded really interesting. It's kind of like people with abilities, so a little bit of a superhero vibe, but not superhero per se.
Yeah.
And these people with abilities are part of this organization. And it basically starts with the main character. She wakes up with a bunch in the rain on the ground. She looks like she's been in a fight, and there's a whole bunch of dead people around her. She has no idea who she is. She has no idea how she got where she is. And now, like, she doesn't remember anything prior to that. Like, she knows things like who the Prime Minister is, for example. It takes place in London. She knows, like, details about the world. She doesn't know anything about herself.
Her personal details.
Details have been wiped, and it's basically about who can I trust and who did this to me. She ends up getting videos and letters from herself saying, if you're receiving this, then my mind has been wiped. They got to me. This is what you need to do, and so she's trying to piece together what's happened.
Yeah, it
good episode. Like only one episode so far, but I really enjoyed it.
I found it it was a little dry. I mean, it is British, so it is going to be a little dry.
But it was dry, but still fascinating.
It was still good. It felt a little bit like Blind Spot.
Kind of, yes.
And like the video messaging thing reminded me a lot of Total Recall.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I want to know where this is going. This sounds really good.
Yeah, so it's mostly British. It does have Olivia Munn in it. She is the one American in there.
Yep. The actual American.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm hoping it does sort of develop some more flavor as we learn more about her, as she learns more about herself. It's probably we're getting some more flavor on her too.
And I'm wondering if there's going to be a twist that we never saw coming, which I kind of hope there is.
Yeah.
And one final show I've been watching, we just discovered. Had never heard of this game.
How have you not heard of this show?
I have never heard of this show, and yet it's season 10. We started watching it at season 10, called The Great Food Truck Race. This is great. It's literally people who sort of have a dream of owning a food truck, and they are given a food truck to run in this competition. It's basically it's like MasterChef, but for food trucks. And they are given challenges, and you win a challenge, you get a bonus in the actual final challenge, what they call the elimination round, where you actually have to sell food for real to the public from your food truck, and the one who makes the least amount of money is eliminated. But this is so great. I have never heard of this show, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, so it used to be the Great Food Truck Road Trip or something along those lines. There's been some fun episodes. We're into season 10 now, so you're sort of, people are more aware of it. When it first started out, like they'd get people out on the show and they'd ask them their concept of their restaurant, and they do it, and they design a truck for them. So it was really cool, that big reveal where here's your truck, and it's like people seeing their concept be.
They don't do that now. The trucks are there.
The trucks are just there. So, but yeah, it's a fun show. They basically travel across, like, from Florida to California and stuff like that, on these big things. And
based on what you just said, it took me like 3 or 4 episodes in to realize that these people don't actually own these trucks. Like, they're not their trucks. They're given the trucks, but these are all teams of people who want to own a food truck. And if you win, you get $50,000 to start your own food truck.
Plus, you get to keep the truck.
Oh, you do?
Well, yeah, I think the idea is $50,000 plus the keys to the truck.
See, that's cool. But I didn't realize until, I think, probably the first elimination, because they said, please hand in your keys. I'm like, wait, what? And like, they don't actually own these trucks. They're not theirs. It's their concept, but they're not owners, but I'm enjoying it. The Great Food Truck Race. I'd never heard of it. Really enjoying it. My wife and I love a good, like food competition show. We love Master Chef. I love Hell's Kitchen. Stuff like that. We just enjoy watching that.
Yeah, they are like it is a fun show. It's like it's lighter fare. Like I'm a huge fan of food trucks. There's gorilla cheese in the neighborhood here, which is absolutely delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the sort of thing I really like watching what people come up with on some of these challenges.
I think here in Kitchener-Waterloo we have faux cheesy.
Ooh, that sounds good too.
Yeah, similar idea. It's all grilled cheese stuff.
Yeah, Kitchener-Waterloo is big for food trucks. Really big. And my Dorothy and I have often talked about
A food truck because she does baking. Like she does an amazing baking.
And there's not a lot of food trucks that are just like bakeries. Like a bakery food truck.
Yeah, we have one in Hamilton here. They have a standalone restaurant, but then they do a food truck too. And there's food truck meetups. There's a place on Tuesdays here in Hamilton where it's called Holy Food Truck or something like that. I don't know, it's a big thing where like 8 or 9 different food trucks just get together in one lot, and you can just go
and everybody goes and feasts
go to town on horrible food for you, but delicious.
All right, so before we get to the big movie we watched, why don't you talk about Alita Battle Angel?
Yeah, so Alita Battle Angel, I watched that actually today.
James Cameron film, isn't it?
Could be. I don't know. Maybe.
Glad you know what you're watching.
Well, I watched the movie. I didn't watch like the credits or anything like that. It is one that I had been interested in initially when this was in the theaters. It did not last very long in the theaters either.
No, it looks weird because the character is totally CGI, but no one else is.
Well, yeah. Yes, actually, a lot of people are. A lot of people are CG'd in this. A lot of things. So it is set in a. It's not even an Earth type thing, but it's set in a post-apocalyptic, post-utopian. I don't know what the term is. It's like it's set in the future. It's like Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's based on an anime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, which makes sense because giant eyes on all the characters. It's actually really well done. I was surprised. I was expecting a lot of like CG clash sort of stuff that wouldn't look good, but the CG looks really good on it. It's not
Except
all done in.
She's very like you can tell she's CG.
Okay, so here's the thing: you have to like from a CG point of view, it's like you're watching Roger Rabbit. It's like CG characters and humans interacting at the same time. It's not something where you're like, oh well, that's certainly not CG. Like everything looks CG. 100% looks CG. The battles are fully CG. You can tell it's CG.
Wait, is the whole movie? The whole movie isn't CG.
No. It's like Roger Rabbit, where you have cartoons and real people interacting. Oh. It's like CG and real people interacting, like it's like a normal thing.
Right, but what I'm trying to get is Roger Rabbit. That was the thing. They literally were interacting with the cartoon world.
Yes.
But that's not what Alita is about.
In my brain, I've just switched a thing in my brain to say this is what this is, so I'm okay with the way it's portrayed.
But I'm wondering why was Alita, why do these characters have to be CGI in this movie?
Well, for a lot of the combat and stuff, like it's a lot of like.
Is it because she's a robot of some kind?
She's a cyborg, so she has a human brain in a cybernetic body, and so she has like all sorts of jumping and flipping and stuff like that. There's this whole thing, I think it's called Murder Ball, which is like a roller derby type thing where people get like this roller derby and NASCAR sort of mashed together. I
still feel like they could have done her as a real person, because I mean, look what they did in right away I'm thinking of Black Panther. With what's his name, the guy who played Gollum. His character, he has a cybernetic arm with a thing that comes out of it, right? Like it's not hard to do that on a real person in CG.
Yeah, no, it could have been done. They wanted to make her have the big anime eyes, I think, and it is actually a real actress who is portraying her.
But then you're right, she's covered with CG after that, yeah.
But she's covered with CG after that, so it does have that. Like that odd look. It does not feel bad though. Like I watched the whole thing. I'm thinking like this may be like I've seen before where like the CG just feels really out of place.
Right. Okay.
It does not feel out of place. It feels like it works in the environment, in the universe that they've put it into. It feels
Like it works.
comfortable.
I have been wanting to watch this, so I mean, I will watch it. I think I've seen the first 10 minutes of it at one point, and it was weird seeing the CGI with real people, and I was like, why the juxtaposition? But I mean, I'll watch it for sure. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I did have fun with it. It was a good movie, and it does set itself up for a sequel.
Oh, that's
as well.
good. That's good. So, speaking of sequels, the big movie, of course, Spider-Man: Far From Home came out this week. We have both seen it. I saw it yesterday. You saw it opening night. It actually opened 2 days early.
Yep, Tuesday availability.
Yeah, and we saw it yesterday on Thursday. We actually saw it on original opening night.
The regular
opening night. Now, spoiler free. There'll be no spoilers on this Spider-Man talk. I loved it. I thought it was great. I am still in my head weighing whether or not it was better than Homecoming, and I'm not 100% sure it was. But what I did find was it was a really great continuation of where the world is at the end of Endgame. Like it really kind of closed out the story of Endgame really well.
Like it answers a lot of the stuff that you as you know, you watch Endgame and then you wonder, like, how does the world go on after that battle? And it's sort of this is sort of what is happening after that battle. I really enjoyed it as well. I had a lot of fun with it. I think one of the things that Marvel does incredibly well is they take a movie like this and they say, what movie do we want to make? And then write Spider-Man into that sort of thing. So this was a vacation movie. This was like a National Lampoon's vacation movie.
Disaster.
Yeah, like this was a National Lampoon's. Like I would have
loved. I wouldn't go that far.
No, but like that was sort of like not directly, but that was the. You could tell like they used that as like an homage and stuff like that. I would have loved to have seen like the family truckster, you know, somewhere at some point, Clark Griswold or something like that. It would have been a fun thing. They took that movie, the sort of European vacation.
I kind of disagree.
And they turned it into a Spider-Man movie.
I disagree.
You are wrong.
I agree with what you're saying, how they take an idea, they take a story, and then they say, how do we make this a Spider-Man film? But what they've done here is they've said, okay, we need to take the hero out of his element, and we need to see him forced to confront things in a different way and actually grow and step into shoes that he never expected to have to step into. And that's really what this is all about. This is all about Peter having to come to terms with the fact that his mentor is dead. Like the man he respected like a father is no longer around. And the world is almost expecting him to step into those shoes, and he's not ready to do that. But not only is he in that situation where he has to step into becoming his mentor, but he's now taken out of his comfort zone and into a world he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
And it's how do you grow and how does he fit into the grander picture? Because think about who is Spider-Man. His tagline is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah. But now you've taken Spider-Man and he's now an Avenger. He's got to protect not just New York, not just Soho where he lives, but the world. The world is looking at Spider-Man to fill the shoes of Iron Man.
And he doesn't want the responsibility.
He doesn't want it, exactly.
He doesn't want that. Like he's like, I'm just a kid. I want, like, and because the whole thing is the struggle between him as an Avenger, him as a superhero, and him as a 17-year-old.
Right. Who just wants to date MJ.
Yeah, he's working off his hormones, and he just wants to deal with.
He wants to be a kid.
Being a teenager. Yeah,
he wants to be a teenager, but he's being forced into this life as an Avenger, and he's not ready for it, and he doesn't want it. You know, and it's how does he deal with that in light of the fact that he has no mentor to talk to about this anymore. Yeah. Anyway, I really, really enjoyed it. There are 2 end credit scenes that completely change the game. Like, I'm talking here. So 2 things about the end credits without spoilers.
Yeah.
Two things they did that I don't think they've ever done before. One, both of them actually are
Impactful.
well, yes, they're impactful, but both of them are actually just continuations of the movie you just watched.
Yeah.
They're not just random scenes, preparing the next movie. They actually start right where the movie ended, So they're kind of like, these are just scenes that happened right away, which I thought was great. But they also one of them sets up whatever the next movie is. We don't even know yet. Like, Marvel hasn't even said what next year's movies are. We don't even know.
We
right?
don't know I think they've started filming Black Panther and
No,
Black Widow.
they've started filming Black Widow. As far as I'm aware, that's it.
Oh, that's it. I thought they.
I'm not
Black Panther
maybe
as well.
maybe, but I haven't heard anything about Black Panther 2. But I know they're filming Black Widow, and that's it. That's all I know about.
And that's the one that has nothing, no bearing on the
No.
current MCU because that's a prequel.
Right. Well, it will, because apparently they will. It will have a bearing, and because they're not going to make a film as just a standalone. It will have a bearing somehow.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Captain Marvel did, even though it took place 20 years ago.
It'll introduce a character or something like that.
Right. It'll do something. But here's what I loved about one of them sets up the next film. The other one sets up the next Spider-Man film, but in a unbelievably shocking cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Like, you are like, I was stunned when they did that. Like, what just happened? Like, holy crap.
I mean, way to make sure you get another movie greenlit.
Right? Like, it is like almost the ultimate Spider-Man cliffhanger. This scene, like, I can't believe they just did that, and now who knows when the next Spider-Man film is.
I want it like next year. I know it's like
Man.
We're like 2-3 years away,
right?
I mean, we're probably not going to have to wait too long because Tom Holland is aging.
Well, that's true.
They want to make sure that they don't age him out of the role.
Yeah. But
So
I mean, Spider-Man can grow up. That's Anyway,
True.
Spider-Man: Far From Home, loved it. My girls loved it. It was fun. It was funny. It had great action sequences. The CGI, of course, is stunning. But really good humor, really good drama, really good kind of like hit you in the feelings kind of moments. And I really enjoyed it.
They elevated Mysterio quite well.
Oh my gosh,
as a villain.
The Mysterio character was fantastic. It was so well done.
Yeah, I mean, which is great because you're taking what is essentially like a second, third tier villain. Like, he's not even like one of the first ones mentioned when you mentioned the Sinister Six.
Well, that's
probably
what's
around 5.
But see, here's what's great about they take Mysterio, who has always been a villain, and they introduce him in this film as a hero, as a friend to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about this. Like, where are you going with this? Like, I don't want to give spoilers away, but I'm like, where are you going? This isn't the Mysterio from the comics.
Yeah.
But it fits the world, you know what I mean? And it's a wonderful callback to several previous movies. And it fits him right into the MCU perfectly. So, anyway, that is it for Spider-Man. That is also it for episode number 332. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Cotter.
Cotter's back too?
He is back.
Wow.
So, Chico.
Oh, I start.
Why don't you take us out?
All right. You can follow the...
Wait.
Are we
one real quick thing. Talking about things ending.
Oh, yeah.
We should talk about this. The Walking Dead comic is actually coming to an end. With episode...
It's not coming
it's
to
done.
an end. It's come to an end.
Get this. Actually, issue number 193. Why are you ending on such an odd number?
Not only that, but they did not announce this previously. So
no,
this issue is almost impossible to find because
no one knew it was coming.
Didn't order enough because who thinks they're ending on 193? Let's order a bunch more. Nope.
No. And it's also clear that the comic and the TV show have nothing to do with each other because in the comic, both Rick and Carl make it pretty much right to the end, but in the TV show, they're both gone. So, anyway, yeah, so Walking Dead comic ends after 16 years and 1 month.
Yeah. So now we got just the television shows and the video games and the board games.
That's it.
And the books.
So
and
not
the
much.
spin-offs to
So
hold us over.
Yeah, so not
I don't know
much.
what we're gonna do.
There's not much left. I mean, that's
Yeah.
it. All right. Anyway, that is it now. Sorry.
Now I can
That's it.
All right. Follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour. Like, subscribe, and comment in all of the places.
Gives us all the thumbs ups.
Yep, all of them. That's a thumbs up thing, or if there's like a check mark, or
Just
a
do
bell.
it. Subscribe. Hit
Click everything. I mean, what can it hurt? You check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/OMGNexus, and you can follow me on Twitter for the 2 tweets a year at Mr. Second Place.
Or all the retweets.
All the retweets.
And the likes.
At least, yeah, that's not like entirely boring. Like there's some stuff sometimes.
Well, you can follow me pretty much everywhere as Ziantane, and that is XIANTAYNE, and that is it for episode number 332. And again, we'll not talk about what happened at the beginning of the first time we tried to film this.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it this time at the beginning of this one. It was the second time that we talked about it again. So this time we have actually not talked about it.
Shh. We're not talking about what happened. We certainly didn't try to record this show with my mic muted. That would never happen.
3 times.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.